Good evening, everyone. It is May 18th, 2023, and for the second day in a row, I'm able to say, wow, what a day, and genuinely mean it. The ES, for the first time in God knows how many attempts, has broken that major level there at 4,220. That spot we've been watching, that external trading hours gap that we've had for God knows how long. We have finally closed it after whatever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So many weekly attempts at that area. We've finally closed that gap. We've finally seen ES join alongside of this bitty Nasdaq. Now, in terms of tomorrow, we do have the monthly options expiration. We also have Jerome Powell speaking at 11 a.m. I'm not sure what the details of that speech are, but anytime J Powell hops on, we're sure to have some volatility. Uh, Obviously, the level that I'm watching of main importance is that 4188 moving forward. I want to see this area held in general, this 4188 to 60ish. And I was talking to a friend earlier, and I think yesterday or something, and we had been mentioning how we both wanted to see essentially a close above 4165. And I'm not actually sure if we have had some weekly closes above at 4165, but ideally above 88, but really anywhere in this area here, I'd be happy with a weekly close anywhere above this area. So that's in general. I'm looking at the ES. Right now, we have gotten our sell off of that 42.23 and 3/4 level. However, we are trading, I believe, right above the close there. So this thing is going to be I wouldn't be surprised if we have a little bit of back and fill. I want to see us trade up to that 42.30, get to that price close, that price gap close. We still have the RTH gap open, so I want to see that RTH gap closed right up to 42.30. There is a point of control there as well at 30 3/4. So I think that'd be a nice spot to finish the ramping. Then we can have some nice back and fill. How far it goes, not too sure. I will be looking. I will not be trading, but I will be looking. If we gap up, I want to be long 0.6/4. That just being the major Q1 high from way back in February. Below there, I'd like to be long 41.89, right around that 88 level that's been so critical since February. That's also where we developed a point of control today. That's roughly where we auctioned around after setting that initial high around noon, that afternoon high. So it was kind of around the middle of there. It was a nice level, and that's where we had our breakout, that second breakout of the day occur. Below there, I want to be long 69s. That's where we trapped some folks who were trying to short this thing in the morning. Below there, nothing has changed. Getting long at the whatever that is, Wednesday sessions VWAP close below there. 44 is the breakout out of this balance that we had on that Tuesday, Wednesday. So that's how I'm looking to play this. I do have that one short setup at 42.30, but that is it. That's all I'm looking for on the ES. On the Nasdaq, let's talk about that for a second. what a what a ridiculous chart. Breaking some major highs. Let's zoom out for a second over here. Let's get to our big chart. We have taken out that major August swing high. I thought it would give us a little bit of a more hesitation, but we have just taken that out, and it looks like we're now gunning for these swing highs around 14,287 3/4. Just trying to look on another chart if that lines up with any structural levels. What is that? 14,280ish. Yeah, of course, we got some weekly highs there. There was a monthly value area high. I imagine that's April's. So we got a monthly value area high there. We also have a gap just a little bit above that. Just a nice little 30 point. I think that's a 30 point RTH gap. We had some numerous daily lows here. Hard to see on this view here, but we had some numerous lows right around 310ish, and then a little gap down during the RTH into 280, and we were unable to breach that and close the gap numerous times here. So this will be the primary area of contention moving forward. So let's just recap on the Nasdaq that we are not only above the 2022 halfback, and that was the number I kept on talking about. Over here, I'd said that the primary thesis is that this is distributive under 500. And that's looked to be the case. We were distributing all of April. This was looking very, very distributive. That tone sort of shifted around, I'd say about last week. It was starting to shift, and it really shifted. We've now had 3 weeks in a row where the prior week's VWAP close was our low of the week. We have not broken a previous day's low in God knows how long. Today we had the second day in a row where we had an open drive upwards right off the open. That open drive upwards, we had a POC shift fail at the 95% Q3 value area high from last year, and that gave us the move up above to squeeze above that August high, and we ripped right through and continued to the 850s. That pullback midday only got to, I don't even think it got to half back on the day, and we just ramped it right into the close. So this thing is no longer looking distributive to me. This was correct. This thesis that below 500 we were looking distributive, I think is pretty correct. We got some nice sells. Overall, it was looking very distributive. But when we cracked that 500 number, you can see it became support. We got over this yearly value area high from 2022, and this thing has just started to rip higher and higher. So I would be I would be careful on the short side. I'm not a macro investor here, but you know, I'm just trading the structure here, and the structure right now is it's bullish. If you were to flip this chart and turn off all these lines here, you know, would you want to be trying to buy this dip? If you were to look at this chart, would this look like something that you want to buy, or does this look like hell? This looks like hell to me, taking out a major swing high and just all of this inventory crashing down lower. It looks like it wants to come to here. That's just an inverse chart of what the reality is. So I'd be careful on the short side. Just take the longs. Even if it is a red day, I think it'll be days where you can find bids along the way. Any sort of downward move will be bought up intraday, and you can scalp a few points off of it. So on the Nasdaq, how am I looking to trade this? Well, nothing's changed below. Trying to get long at those VWAP closes from Wednesday. Here, trying to get long at 645. That just being the the point of control and close of Wednesday's session. Above there, want to get long 704s. That just being where we auction and had that major point of control shift fail. So in my opinion, that's where we should have a lot of trapped shorts. 740, obviously that major swing high from August, that critical level. 814, where we auctioned around intraday, just like that 89 number on the ES. I would like to take that long as well. And if we gap up, I would take the aggressive long off of today's close. Sorry. So that's how I'm looking at this thing. The structure is leaning very bullish. Uh, Given that it's OPEX tomorrow, I would be careful looking for some sort of crazy moves. I know the past several sessions have been really nice. The past 2 sessions, I would say, have been really nice. Today and yesterday were quite nice. The rest of the week was friggin' garbage, on the ES especially. But I would be careful looking for big moves, both with options expiry pinning this thing, and then also with Jerome Powell coming on at 11 a.m. It's hard to really get some nice movement out of this thing. So I'll look for some early day moves, then I would try to not fade the OPEX chop or the OPEX drift to wherever it wants to pin. Hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. And don't get stuck on the wrong side of this thing. Have a great night and trade safe.